I've been covering space games for around 10 years now, and this is easily one of the best Steam Next Fest I've ever seen for the genre. And yes, that means I will tell you about each of these free demos that you can try out right now and why you should give them a go. So, no wasting your time with this. I'm aiming for a quick overview on each title this time so I can cover as many as possible, and you will then know exactly which ones you'll want to download. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe. So, let's start with G-Rebels. This is an Alpha Rebellion test flight. It's centered on flying the Skyblade. Learn piloting in an interactive tutorial, tackle early missions, explore the capital Davos, and meet fixers who tee up future operations, and then earn credits to upgrade your craft. The real standout activity here appears to be high-speed city racing that requires skill and a little luck to qualify. This is very much a visually striking game. It feels like it's an action sim with a hint of open world. Also, many of you may remember Reactor Studios from their work on Black Prophecy, a very respected space game from back in the day. Freelancers Rogue Skies. Now this is a single-player open-world space combat roguelike. It's built on fast dogfights and risky choices. The demo delivers 2 to 3 hours of sorties, so it's quite lengthy, and those are procedural missions, some punchy AI sessions, and medals for milestones like first kills. Each death costs your ship, but yields knowledge, routes, enemy behaviours, and build upon ideas, and this pushes you to iterate smarter over time. Full game pillars include agile third-person combat, enemies that flank and disengage, and a galaxy of emergent opportunities. These can be convoy ambushes, derelict hulls, surprise traps, and much more. Narrative is player-driven. Side with the UEG or go rogue, or chart your own legend through permadeath cycles and ship unlocks. Expect a loop of fight, loot, upgrade, and repeat, with story fragments stitching runs into a career. So the status of this one, like with everything in the Steam Next Fest, is there's a demo available right now. Moving on to In the Black, we come to a hardcore science fiction leaning space combat sim set in the 23rd century. Here, you're a merc for Megacorp waging shadow wars over the solar system's resources. There's a variety of different modes here, one of which spans 5v5 arena multiplayer. They cover games such as Assault, Conquest, and TDM. There's also single-player contract ops here, such as Recon, Interdiction, Ship Strike, Station Defense, and more. Plus, there's some simulator challenges and tutorials. The heart is authentic, high-energy cockpit combat. The idea is that you take out a nuclear-powered fighter, slinging lasers, missiles, cannons, and railguns, with some really nice ship handling and damage modelling. There's a really robust ship frame editor here, also that supports deep loadout and some cosmetic tuning across 5 different fighter classes. So this one is quite unlike any other space combat you've probably tried because it goes for realism, perhaps more so than anything else. For those of you into VR, we've got BattleGroup VR2. In this game, you're in VR real-time fleet command from your flagship's bridge. Explore a slice of the open galaxy, accept contracts, mine, trade, and fight pirates to grow a task force from corvettes into battleships. Now in combat, you can issue vector-based orders, hold formations, and coordinate focused fire in fully 3D space environments. The idea here is that your trained captains bring unique tactical perks as well. The demo offers bridge view command, a limited jump open world sampling, and some story missions to boot. Then there's a combat gauntlet mode with escalating challenges and a trimmed ship list. A larger conquest metagame is planned for later on, and that means this game is overall strategy focused with some spatial awareness and some ship compositions that really will ultimately decide the outcome of your fate. This is a VR game as well, which really means it puts you in the chair in a very literal sense. Retribution is a fast 3D space combat roguelike. The runs here are brisk 5 to 7 minute sorties set through planetary hubs like Mars and Jupiter. Your own advantage is Merlin, an onboard companion who auto-executes active passive abilities and unlocks potent synergies as you upgrade. Dogfights here emphasize speed, precision, and positional control against capital ships and swarmers. That means one mistake can end a run. So repairing and tuning between missions really does matter. There's also plenty of loot in the game, which means weapons and ship modules can all be upgraded, along with disruption tools, evasive dashes, and much more. The objectives push you to secure access points and purge sectors before the network tears itself apart into a singularity. So yeah, this one seems all very fast. Star Wars Inc. is a management sim about squeezing profit from an abandoned space station. Start by cutting asteroids with a laser to extract minerals, then refine them into high-value goods and automate everything with robots. Machines and conveyor-like transports are there as well to help out. You can build humming industrial web, optimize mining throughput, keep lines fed and sell to alien clients, and then reinvest and scale up. Side activities here include clearing alien growths, reactivating terminals, uncovering hidden sectors. Both open new efficiencies and upgrades as well. Now the game's design is all about compounding gains, so that means smarter bots and better logistics and a beefed up laser all unlock rarer materials and richer ores. Now some may find the tone of this game a bit goofy or otherwise tongue-in-cheek, but the ultimate goal is of course unabashed wealth. Extinction Day. Now this is a doomsday simulator where the win state is humanity's end. You're not the hero here saving everyone's life. So the idea is to chain disasters such as storms, tornadoes, pandemics, asteroid strikes, and watch dynamic systems cascade across a living globe. The demo includes 3 missions, 2 prologues and 1 full scenario, with 4 of the full game's dozen-plus disaster abilities. Now, each scenario is replayable across 4 difficulty levels, and humanity fights back with countermeasures, so success requires timing, combos, and ruthless optimization. Under the hood, there's some tech there that simulates 80,000 plus humans in real time, and that lets you read and spread patterns and engineer the collapse that you're aiming for. The full game promises many scenarios and perks and a free-form sandbox for unhinged experimentation. Stellar Archepeligo is a third-person base builder with a space western vibe where you tame chains of tiny planets. Now each procedurally generated star system asks you to gather resources, establish a first foothold, and then scale into multi-world colonies. The game loop here then is pretty clean it seems. Collect ores and organics from bite-sized worlds and then build habitats, power, food and water whilst really fighting against the terrain constraints because these worlds are pretty small. You can then explore the fully traversable microplanets and survey landmarks and unlock different tech. Ultimately, expanding settlements that share resources across the system will let you connect everything by constructing a warp junction. And once that happens, well, that only happens when populations pass 100. And then you'll be able to head on to a next star system. The game is all about management of course, so that means oxygen management, limited space and harsh biomes make every placement matter. Leaks in Space is a build, fly, fight sandbox where pressure is survival. Construct modular ships, slap on railguns and turrets, and then send droids into the mine, and then scramble when enemy fire rips holes in your hull and air hisses away. The demo is a single hostile sector meant to preview the core game loop, and that means assembling a vessel, exploring pirate-scarred pockets, and pick fights or avoid them, and then constantly repair the various different leaks mid-combat to keep the cabin breathable. Meanwhile, there's plenty of droids about to help you out. These droids juggle harvesting and emergency patching, while you juggle targeting and thrusting. The ultimate goal here then is that winning means designing for redundancy, exploiting enemy breaches, and learning when to turtle versus when to push for damage. Order New Dawn is a colony sim that meets space adventure. Now as a storied United Stellar captain, you're tasked with building a foothold on New Terra whilst navigating the dangers of surrounding a waste space. The demo is roughly 5 to 10 hours long, so quite a long one there, which is about 10% of the planned ultimate game. This features early tech progression, base building, resource chains, character interactions, and stitched together star system maps that connect ground and orbital activity. Ultimately, you can push scouting teams to derelict facilities, survey unknown planets, and harvest survey deposits to keep your colony stable. Choices ripple here. That means you're going to have a bit of impact on how you play things out. Ultimately, restore order, let ruins spread, or escalate chaos, and factions and personalities respond to all of that. The game seems to be equally parts logistics, risk management, and narrative design as well. Hired Stars is an isometric RTS sandbox about running a small mercenary outfit in a law and profit galaxy. The idea here is to chart the star map, raid convoys, hit pirates, or fight against the Empire. Real-time battles reward positioning, dodge rockets, punish exposed hulls, and control focused fire against the enemies. Now, between contracts, you can refit ships, recruit and level captains, and chase better gear through the black market, as well as captured data cores. The universe is procedurally generated with busy traffic, patrolling fleets, and factional economies. Additionally, diplomacy lets you pick friends and enemies and live with the consequences. Expect high replayability from procedural seeds and a rogue shop loop. Comet Tycoon is something a bit different. It's about starting out as a poor rock hopper and working your way up to an interstellar mogul. So here you land on procedurally generated comets and then set up extraction and processing change, with the ultimate goal of automating all of this and building to scale. Here you're going to need to keep crews alive with oxygen and food, or swap to drones for efficiency. And then, as your reputation grows, you'll find tourists and passers-by arrive hungry and looking for shelter, snacks and entertainment. So therefore, you'll need to build facilities such as bars and venues like the Aquarade and life support kiosks to keep them comfortable and spending. The economy loops back into the expansion as well, such as profits to fund upgrades and the purchase of bigger, richer comets. So this is all about survival pressure meeting a management sim. You'll need to juggle supply lines, visitor needs, and ethical choices as well when demand outstrips resources. Lunar Ascendant is a near-future political drama about being the first mayor of Artemis, a pioneering lunar city. Here you're going to have to balance independence versus Earth cooperation, and then decide how much sway the AI should have in policy and unpick interplanetary conspiracies that threaten the colony's future. The demo currently teases gameplay and framing, hinting at decisions that trade autonomy for support or vice versa. Expect a governance sim then wrapped in intrigue, budgets, public sentiment, stakeholder pressure, and external actors with agendas. The full game is slated for release in the 21st of November 2025, and there's a wishlist available, as well as of course that demo right now. Now we come to Trade Anchor. This is a peaceful top-down trade sim with absolutely zero combat. Start with one freighter and carve a profit across a procedurally generated alien galaxy by reading the markets, optimizing routes through hazardous space, and timing deliveries against emergent demand. Scale these into fleets, specialize in goods such as minerals or technology, and then build facilities to deepen your margins. There are also rival traders out there, and these you can beat with your brains or investment and logistic opportunities rather than weapons. The developer is a solo hobbyist prioritizing fair pricing and gameplay. In other words, no loot boxes or DLC bait coming later. Early access aims to add denser economies, more ships, and a guiding storyline, as well as some additional alien races along the way. The initial early access build is intentionally bare bones, but fully explorable, with the price rising gradually as the scope and polish grows. Right now there is a demo available, but the full release is targeted for 2026. And then we come to Sim Tycoon. This is a pure transport tycoon sandbox, but set in space. The idea is to survey procedural systems, found stations and mines, and craft goods and stitch profitable shipping routes together from outposts to factories to cities. It's all about logistics in 3D. Here you're going to need to implement lane design, fleet mix, buffer timing and throughput to really build that ideal colony and ideal setup. The demo includes the first campaign map with all transport ships, factories and product types unlocked, plus some convenient lists such as planets, factories and colonies for quick jump in, and a new warehouse building to split flows and stage cargo. The game plans a full campaign ultimately, and an open sandbox spanning various different planets, different stars, and even some black holes. So there we have it, a whole bunch of different demos that are available in the current Steam Next Fest. Do try them out. I think a lot of them are well worth giving a go. After all, what can you lose? These are entirely free. Thanks for watching this video all the way through. There is another one on the screen right here. Do check it out. I'll catch you next time. Do take care.